Hello, everyone. My guest today is Rhoden Monrose. He grew up in Harlem, New York after emigrating from Saint Lucia at age 12. After graduating Trinity College, he began his career as a derivatives trader at Citigroup. In 2014, he founded CariClub, a technology platform positioned at the intersection of corporate citizenship and professional networking to engage young professionals with nonprofits. Rhoden, how are you? Are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
Good.
for having me.
You bet. All right, tell us about the company. What do you guys do, and what's your revenue model? How do you make money?
Sure. So CariClub is a platform that connects young professionals with nonprofit boards. We work with companies like Citigroup, Deloitte, Ernst& Young, Unilever, Morgan Stanley. They realize that their millennial employees really want to make an impact and give back, and we have a platform that is very, very much designed to make that whole experience much easier.
And how do you make money?
The companies pay us. They see CariClub as an employee benefit, so it's a perk, if you will, and so they pay per employee on an annual basis for each person who joins.
Okay, and are they getting access to a software platform, or it's more of an information product? Is it?
It's a marketplace type platform. So we have you sign up, you build a profile page, and you tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of the causes that you're interested in, what you're passionate about. And we have hundreds of nonprofits on the other side that have that similar information about like their mission and their cause. We throw in some machine learning and we make it easy for them to find each other.
Okay.
To compare us to Amazon in terms of our ability to put the right organization in front of our members by just knowing what they're interested in.
So only the companies pay, or do the nonprofits pay to be in the marketplace as well?
Yeah, the nonprofits don't pay. It's just the companies. And again, a lot of the reasons why they're paying for this is because they see the value in terms of leadership development, employee retention, engaging millennials in general. It's something that a lot of the companies care a lot about.
And what do these companies pay on average, would you say? I'm sure you have a bunch of different use cases, but on average?
Sure. That fee comes out to anywhere from $600 to $1,200.
That's per year or per month?
Annually.
Annually. Okay, got it. And what's the difference between the two? What would be 600? What would be 1,200?
It's bulk. So the more employees you add to the platform, the lower the per employee fee. It just makes it a lot more economics of scale for us. Yeah.
I see. And so let's kind of put this on a timeline now. What year did you launch this in?
We launched with our first client in 2016. I started working on the company in 2014, and we're off to the races. In 2016, we ended up with just two clients. In 2017 with 15, we're growing into more cities now. We're not just in New York, we're in Chicago, we're in San Francisco, we're in Boston and DC.
And so how many customers to date?
Right now we're about 20.
About 20. Okay, good. And is it just you? What's the team size look like?
We have a full-time team of 6 plus just 12 part-time / contract employees.
And these folks are remote or all based in New York?
Like 90% New York.
Oh, great. Okay, good. Now, if I take 20 customers times a $600 per year or $50 per month price point, that's about a grand kind of per month. I assume those 20 logos, they'll have multiple seats. So walk me through on average, how many seats are these logos signing up?
Right. So it varies. A lot of them want to do a smaller pilot in the first year. And so they'll do anywhere from we don't do that as few anymore, but like it used to be like 10, but like someone would go up to 100. And the idea is they just want to make sure that because we're the only platform of our kind, they want to make sure that it works and their employees like it and there's positive feedback. And so a lot of them are rolling out from that 1-year pilot. And we're looking to just figure out how we can launch with like more in New York and add other employees in other cities.
So Rhoden, today, how many kind of, would you say, paid employees or paid seats do you have on the platform?
About 3,000.
About 3,000. Okay, good. So yeah, fairly healthy team sizes then.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. And kind of backing into that, I'm curious kind of if you've raised or bootstrapped. It sounds like 3,000 seats at a minimum $50 price point. You guys are north of 150 grand per month at this point. Is that accurate?
Not yet, because a lot of our clients from like year one had a much different price point. As we tested out the actual market price and product market fit, we realized that our price point was higher. So a lot of these clients from like 2016 are rolling on to like our new price point, and so like our revenue is going to increase accordingly.
Okay, just correct me then. What are you at today in terms of monthly revenue?
Right now, we're about 50.
Okay, about 50. That's great. And where were you a year ago? Give me a sense of growth.
Oh my God. A year ago, we were, I mean, we're probably talking 15, 20.
Okay, okay, good. So healthy growth, and just that's just coming from signing up more seats, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Now, have you bootstrapped or raised capital?
We've raised about $2 million to date, and kind of from the first year, I really wanted to raise the money so that we could build a team. I founded the company by myself, and when we realized that there was something there, we raised $1 million and built a team around it.
And then let's kind of fill out some of the other unit economics before we talk more about some of the successful nonprofit case studies. So economics in this kind of company, churn is critical. But what is your churn today, and how do you manage it?
So we actually haven't had any churn yet. We haven't lost any clients. We haven't lost any nonprofits. We are sort of in a landscape right now where companies are much more aware of that like engagement point from getting their employees engaged, millennials engaged in that way. The nonprofits on their end, they realize that they need to connect with that next generation of talent. Otherwise, there's not much continuity for these organizations. So we have a lot of very engaged nonprofits and corporate partners.
And you've never ignore a logo for a second, but you never had a kind of one single business go from 1,000 seats down to 800. You've never lost a seat.
Correct.
So I find that shocking. Usually in any company, there's at least some churn. That's maybe a signal that this is too cheap of a product.
Maybe that's the case, and that's part of the reason why we're constantly sort of iterating that whole process. But from year to year, we've not lost any clients. Every one of the conversations we're having right now, it's all around how can we add more employees in more cities at our existing clients.
Okay, that's great. So no churn right now. And in terms of how you're spending that $2 million to grow the business, what's your fully weighted customer acquisition cost to get one of these new logos?
I mean, right now I'm the only salesperson, so I mean, acquisition cost is a lot of basically my salary.
So you're not doing any direct paid spend?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Because we have a B2B model, we rely very heavily on our network. We have a lot of referrals, and it's really interesting because we often get a lot of these employees from firms that we would like to get as clients come to us, and they'll basically like work with us to get the CariClub in the door at their employer.
Yep. Well, look, if you've got 3,000 paid seats across 20 logos, that means each one's about 150 seats at that price point, right? So each logo is paying about $2,500 per month. What are some of the sales cycles looking like? How long do you have to travel and fly and wine and dine and win over these corporations?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the beauty of having a web-based platform. We could do a lot of things remotely because we're based in New York, and so many nonprofits and companies are headquartered there or have a major office here. We're actually able to grow through that channel. So the stage one for us is like we do some sort of a pilot in year one in New York City. And once they realize that, oh my God, this is working, our employees love this, nonprofits love this, we could negotiate like the expansion from New York for the most part. We would certainly like fly to San Francisco and other cities like when we launched with these clients, but like we don't have to.
Now, give me a successful case study here. So name a nonprofit that's really benefited the most from your platform.
Wow, there's so many. So you have to fundamentally understand, like we're in a marketplace platform that's connecting these nonprofits with high achieving young professionals at all these top firms. They have never had something like this before. So every single nonprofit on our platform that has received an employee from us, a member, they're all doing well because before us there was no other channel. So I could be more specific and talk about like Teach for America, how they were able to get a few young professionals to join their associate board, and the people that we help them identify, we're able to grow that group out, get really high quality other board members recruited. But they were also able to raise like hundreds of thousands of dollars for the New York chapter of Teach for America. But there are just at this point so many stories like that. That it's just becoming fun.
That's great. So you've successfully placed, it sounds like about 3,000 of these. That's why you have 3,000 seats. Is that accurate?
3,000 seats.
Yeah, you said you have 20 companies paying you and you have 3,000 seats. I assume a seat is when an employee gets placed into a nonprofit, correct?
A seat is just the number of spots that a company has on our platform. So it's affiliated with like a number of employees. We haven't placed 100% of our employees yet.
Oh, got it. So they've bought 3,000 like credits essentially. You've placed some portion of. How many have you placed so far?
40%.
Okay, that's good. So a little under 15, call it 1,300, something like that.
Yeah.
Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Oh man, so much that I've learned in that time. Probably the most important one would be to not freak out and understand that, like, if you are doing something you're passionate about, where there's a will, there's a way.
Guys, stay calm. There's a will, there's a way. Again, he had a successful career at Citigroup before he said, you know what, I want to get out of here, launch my own thing, help connect employees at these companies with nonprofits so they can add social responsibility really to their work. He has signed 20 companies up. They've all bought about 3,000 seats for their employees. He's placed about 1,400 of them to date, doing about 50 grand per month in revenue. These are, again, companies paying for those seats. That's up from 15 grand per month just a little over a year ago. They've raised $2 million, a team of 6 full-time based mainly in New York City. Too early for unit economic stuff, but healthy growth rate. Rhoden, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.